functional hood scoop with X Supercharged badging, this is the Tahoe that just made the Cadillac Escalade V an expensive mistake. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the supercharger cooling architecture on this Tahoe solves a thermal management problem that the Escalade V's supercharged V8 has never addressed at the factory level. It is not what you think it is. I'll get there. Is the Z71 X Supercharged actually worth the premium over an Escalade V? My answer depends entirely on whether you prioritize sustained performance output or badge prestige, and those are two very different things at this price point. We're covering the exterior hardware, the cabin, and the powertrain, and the backstory of why Chevy greenlit a 700 horsepower Tahoe at all. That did not begin in a standard product planning cycle. Here's what matters most, and it's not the carbon fiber splitter, and it's not the 700 horsepower number. It's the hood scoop. A functional ram air scoop on a production full-size SUV is a serious engineering commitment, not a visual accessory. The scoop feeds pressurized cool air directly to the supercharger intercooler under load, reducing charge air temperature and maintaining boost pressure consistency on sustained hard acceleration runs. At high ambient temperatures where a sealed hood Escalade V starts pulling timing after repeated hard pulls, this scoop addresses that problem structurally. The Cadillac Escalade V does not run a functional hood scoop. Neither does the Lincoln Navigator Black Label. Speculative tech number 1. Active scoop bypass valve. An electronically actuated internal valve opens fully in sport and track modes, directing full ram air to the intercooler under load, reducing charge air temperature and maintaining boost pressure consistency on sustained hard acceleration runs. At high ambient temperatures where a sealed hood Escalade V starts pulling timing after repeated hard pulls, this scoop addresses that problem structurally. The Cadillac Escalade V does not run a functional hood scoop. Neither does the Lincoln Navigator Black Label. The scoop signals the performance intent. The cabin tells a completely different story about what Chevy decided this SUV should feel like from the inside. Step inside, and the contrast is immediate. Gunmetal gray leather across every seat face. Z71 badge embroidered on each headrest in red. Red contrast stitching tracing every seam edge from door panel to center console. Carbon fiber covers every hard surface. Dashboard top, door cards, steering wheel spokes, center console face, gear selector surround. Red floor mats, red vent surrounds on both sides of the dash. This cabin does not hedge. It commits fully to the performance brief, and it reads closer to a European Sport GT interior than any domestic full-size SUV at this price. Physical HVAC rotary dials with red accent rings sit permanently accessible below. Step inside, and the contrast is immediate. Gunmetal gray leather across every seat face. Z71 badge embroidered on each headrest in red. Red contrast stitching tracing every seam edge from door panel to center console. Carbon fiber covers every hard surface. Dashboard top, door cards, steering wheel spokes, center console face, gear selector surround. Red floor mats, red vent surrounds on both sides of the dash. This cabin does not hedge. It commits fully to the performance brief, and it reads closer to a European Sport GT interior than any domestic full-size SUV at this price. Physical HVAC rotary dials with red accent rings sit permanently accessible below the widescreen display, fully separate from the touchscreen hierarchy. For a driver running this SUV hard on a canyon road, that physical separation means climate adjustment never requires eyes off the road. The Cadillac Escalade V buries more secondary functions in its touchscreen. Chevy made the correct ergonomic call here. Speculative tech number 2. Supercharger thermal cabin alert. A dashboard indicator communicates intercooler inlet temperature in real time, warning the driver when charge air temperature approaches the threshold where timing reduction begins, giving the driver 15 to 20 seconds to reduce load before power output is affected. No factory performance SUV currently gives the driver visibility into supercharger thermal state. This closes an information gap that costs performance at the worst possible moment. Where they've missed the mark, the widescreen display sits too high in the dashboard stack, requiring upward eye travel that conflicts with the performance driving brief. The BMW X5M's lower display placement keeps the driver's sightline closer to the road. For a 700 horsepower SUV, that is the wrong ergonomic trade-off. The exterior section delivers the origin story, why Chevy built a 700 horsepower Tahoe at all. Here's what I'm hearing. The Z71 X Supercharged reportedly originated from a direct internal brief after the Cadillac Escalade V captured performance-oriented full-size SUV buyers that GM's standard Tahoe lineup could not retain. The brief wasn't build a faster Tahoe. It was build something that makes the Escalade V buyer question whether they need the Cadillac badge at all. The exterior is where that competitive intent is most visible. Front to rear. Functional hood scoop. Primary engineering component feeding the supercharger intercooler under load. Carbon fiber lower front splitter with red accent trim line running the full lower body perimeter. Aerodynamic load management at the front axle. X Supercharged badge on both front fenders. Large dark multi-spoke wheels on low-profile performance rubber, sized to fill every millimeter of the arch. Black two-tone roof from B-pillar rearward. Rear. Tahoe lettered tailgate. Full-width orange LED light bar, quad exhaust exits centered in a carbon fiber sport diffuser, supercharged badge plate on the lower bumper. Every element earns its place. The hood scoop, the splitter geometry, and the diffuser are load path decisions. They survive a refresh cycle because they are functional, not decorative. But functional hardware means nothing without the engine to justify every square inch of it. Supercharged 6.2-liter V8. 700 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque, 10-speed automatic, rear-wheel drive with available all-wheel drive. On back-to-back hard acceleration runs where an Escalade V's sealed intercooler begins heat-soaking, this scoop-fed system maintains consistent output through the third and fourth pull. Speculative tech number 3, boost pressure hold system. During a standing launch, the system pre-charges the supercharger to operating boost pressure 400 milliseconds before throttle application, eliminating the brief pressure build lag that Escalade V drivers feel between throttle input and full power delivery. That half-second gap is the difference between a controlled launch and a scrabbled one. This eliminates it entirely. Cadillac Escalade V, $150,000, 682 horsepower. More interior luxury specification, but no functional scoop cooling and no factory performance cabin package at this level. Lincoln Navigator Black Label, $105,000. No forced induction, no carbon fiber interior architecture, not in the same performance conversation. The engineering case is complete. The financial case needs to hold up alongside it. Now, here's what I actually think. Completely straightforward. The Escalade V Conquest brief explains every decision, the functional scoop, the carbon fiber cabin, the red accent architecture throughout. Chevy wasn't building a better Tahoe, they were building the SUV that makes an Escalade V owner walk back into the Chevy dealership and realize they overpaid. Whether they succeeded depends entirely on whether that buyer values badge hierarchy or documented, sustained performance output. Because on that specific metric, this Tahoe has a compelling case. Pricing. Expect $110,000 to $125,000 fully configured. The Cadillac Escalade V runs $150,000. More interior luxury, 682 horsepower, but no scoop thermal management and no carbon fiber performance cabin at any equivalent price. The standard Tahoe Z71 at $64,000 gives you the same platform for significantly less. The TRX Supercharged Premium buys the 700 horsepower output, the scoop cooling architecture, and the carbon fiber interior package, all three together. Factory supercharged configurations with genuine mechanical differentiation, scoop, intercooler, tune, hold residual value better than dealership-added power packages. For a 5-year hold, the factory documentation on every performance component is recoverable at resale in a way an aftermarket supercharger installation never is. That warranty chain matters. Here's the call. If sustained high-output performance in a full-size SUV with factory coverage on everything is your requirement, the Z71 TRX Supercharged is the most coherent package in this segment right now. If interior luxury specification and badge prestige matter more than documented sustained output, the Cadillac V gives you more of both. The TRX Supercharged earns its premium through thermal discipline and performance coherence, not through Cadillac lettering. At the open, I said that hood scoop signals something specific. Having walked the full picture, It signals a 700 horsepower SUV that was engineered to sustain its output, not just claim it on a spec sheet. That distinction is everything at this price point. I genuinely love your perspective, especially if you've driven both the Escalade V and a supercharged Tahoe build back-to-back in comparable conditions. Drop which one held its power output longer below. $115,000 for the Tahoe Z71 X Supercharged, or $150,000 for the Escalade V. Drop Tahoe or Escalade below. Z71 X Supercharged versus the BMW X5M competition is next. Subscribe if this kind of analysis is what you're here for. See you then!